wanted to welcome you to Delaware Tech and to our annual Black History Month celebration, honoree celebration. I'm Laura Johnson. I'm the Vice President and Campus Director here at the George campus. And joining me today is Mr. Dan Eman, who's the Vice President and Campus Director of the Stanton campus. We also have with us today members of the college administration, as well as faculty and some of our students that will be coming in. We have some classes that will be joining us, so they'll be filling up the back as I see some of them coming in now. We're also pleased to have with us today our college president, Dr. Mark Brainerd. He's a leader that is committed. Give him the applause. Yes, and he deserves it because he is a leader that is committed to promoting diversity, equity, and inclusion at our college and beyond. And here he's been instrumental in creating an environment that improves access to education and opportunities for all. Our president is always supportive of these events where we have an opportunity to recognize the contributions of a leader that has made a significant impact in the community and on the lives of those around him or her. So thank you, Dr. Brainerd, for joining us today and for your continued support. It is also my pleasure to acknowledge the elected and government officials with us today who took time out of their very busy schedules to join us and honor our Black History Month honoree. So please join me in recognizing them. We have today Congresswoman Lisa Blunt Rochester. We have our Lieutenant Governor, Bethany Hall Long. And we also have Representative Frank Cook. Thank you all for your unwavering support. We are proud to share that for 25 years, Delaware Tech's Stanton and Wilmington campuses have been celebrating Black History Month by honoring a member of the community for his or her outstanding personal and professional achievements. The college selects individuals who have made significant contributions to the community and have made an impact on improving the quality of life throughout our state. I'd like to take this time to recognize any of our past honorees who are present with us today. If you could please stand and be recognized. And we do have Mr. Corey Priest. He was our 2022 honoree when we had a virtual event, so we're so glad you could be with us today to be recognized as well. I am very pleased to stand here today to celebrate and honor the achievements and contributions of this year's Black History Month honoree, Mr. Donald Baker II. Mr. Baker, you have made many significant and meaningful contributions to not just the Wilmington community, but to society as a whole, and we want to take this time to thank you and to honor you. It is through your hard work, determination, and grit that you have inspired and continue to inspire individuals to dream big, work hard, and never give up. Mr. Baker is committed to our community and has worked to address issues involving hunger, poverty, education, and social racial injustice. As CEO of FAME, Forum to Advance Minorities in Engineering, Mr. Baker leads the effort to provide students of color an education that prepares them for a college degree or a career in a STEM-related field. He has impacted our community in many other ways through his volunteer work and partnership with Delaware organizations such as the United Way of Delaware, Delaware Pathways, the Delaware STEM Council, and many more. This Black History Month, we honor and celebrate you and thank you for your tremendous contribution to our society and for setting an example for future generations to follow. At the conclusion of today's program, we will add your photo and bio to our Black History Month Wall of Honor to recognize your outstanding contributions. At this time, I would like to welcome Ms. Norkia Baker to the podium to continue our program. She has chaired our college's Equity Committee and continues to serve on this very important committee college-wide. Ms. Baker.
Thank you, Dr. Johnson. Well, greetings and welcome to Delaware Tech. We're excited to recognize Mr. Donald Baker II as our 2023 Black History Month honoree. Next, we will receive acknowledgments that speak to Mr. Baker's contributions to the community. First, I would like to welcome the Honorable Lisa Blunt Rochester to share remarks.
Thank you, Kia. Well, first of all, it is a pleasure and an honor to be back at Deltech. This is a premier school, so I just want to give another round of applause for Delaware Technical and Community College under the leadership of Dr. Mark Brainerd, Dr. Johnson, and all that are here, the instructors, the students. It is just an honor to be here, and it's especially an honor to be here celebrating Black History Month, but also to honor someone who is not just looking at our past, but preparing us for the future. And so I want to congratulate you, Don, on behalf of the congressional delegation. We have a letter for you that has been prepared, and I'm going to just read a little bit of the letter, and then I want to share my own personal feelings. It is with great respect and admiration that I congratulate you on being selected as Delaware Technical Community College's 2023 Black History Month honoree. Each year, Deltech chooses to showcase an extraordinary individual. I'm going to say that again, extraordinary individual, making a lasting impact on their community. And I am so thrilled that your incredible work is being recognized in this way. And then we go on to talk about the different boards, but what I want to talk about is Dr. Johnson used the word grit, and I think it's a perfect word because when I think of grit, I always think of the G is for get it done. Don gets stuff done. He gets stuff done. I think of the R for resourcefulness. That's why he personally trained to be able to be a fundraiser. That's why he's been involved with organizations that deal with nonprofit management. That's why he invests in himself as a leader so that he could be a leader for others. Resourcefulness. He knows how to find the money too. That's a good thing. That's a good thing. He's called me on a number of occasions, so I know for a fact. I is for innovation. When we talk about STEAM and STEM, and you see I said STEAM, because one thing that wasn't mentioned was Christina Cultural Arts Center and your work and leadership there for the arts. Recognizing that we are not just a left brain or a right brain, but that we are a whole brain. And that it takes all of that to create innovation. And as we celebrate Black History Month, we know there are so many incredible Black and brown inventors that are part of our history. You are part of that legacy of creating the innovations of our country and the world. And then the T stands for tenacious. This brother never gives up. He does not give up. We are so proud that you are here with your beautiful family. Beautiful, stand up family so they can see you. Mom, daughters, wife, family. Yes. To honor you today because you deserve it. I will say to you as I close, some of you know I had the privilege of serving in Delaware as Secretary of Labor and also of head of state personnel. And so we worked together for many years in those capacities. But you know, for me, it's about jobs, jobs, jobs. And it's about opportunity. And what FAME does, the Forum to Advance Minority Engineers, is it creates opportunities for all of us. And I have watched you take this whole organization to another level. It started in 1976. And if you look on their website right now, under the board members, there's a picture, and there's two women in the middle of the picture. Those are my sisters, Thea and Marla, who back in the, I don't even know what year, was that the 70s? I don't know, they were in FAME. And then fast forward, maybe to the 90s, my son was in FAME. Thea is now an engineer. She does industrial engineering. She's done IT engineering. She is now working in nuclear engineering. Fame. My son now owns his own recording studio. He's now getting education in sound engineering. Fame. You have taken fame to the next level, which is why we honor you today. We honor you, Don, because you deserve it. We always quote the play Hamilton, where in the play he says, legacy is planting seeds in a garden you will not see grow. You are planting seeds, and we are seeing the results already. Congratulations, Don Baker.
Thank you, Congresswoman Blunt Rochester. Next, we would like to invite Lieutenant Governor Bethany Hall Long to share remarks.
I always love following our Congresswoman of acronyms, LBR, Leadership with Bold Results. And that is exactly you, Don Baker. That is you as well, because she came up with grit, and you are all of grit and more. I'm not going to repeat the things she said, but I want to emphasize on behalf of myself and Governor Carney, who is not here to congratulate you today, I do want to start with the foundation in this room, to Delaware Technical Community College, to all of the administrators, the leaders, the Board of Trustees who are here. Thank you for taking the time to recognize those in our community that make Delaware stronger and better. And Don Baker and Corey Priest and the others who've gone before, you do that. You make Delaware better and stronger. How many students are here? Can I have a wave of students? Okay, I am a professor in my other life, and we want to say thank you, because we know one day you will be here, whether teaching, whether working in our community, or whether being honored as Don Baker is today. And notice I call you Don instead of Donald. My brother's a Don. So I look out, at least that I can see, to our Congresswoman, not only some of the organizations that you listed, but some of the people that Mr. Baker has helped turn their lives around, and organizations that you've made proud. You don't always get the former leader of the Delaware Leadership Program out. You don't always get the head of the Delaware STEM Council. You brought people out today, and it wasn't just because it was nice weather. They came out because they recognize your skills and your strength. And to your lovely daughters and your lovely wife and family, thank you for sharing him. Because we know there's late night calls, because like the Congresswoman, I've had a few of those off-hour calls, texts, asking because of the commitment. Thank you for sharing him. Leadership is never easy. And most of the things that happened, Don, you've done when there were no cameras, when there wasn't attention, because you get it. And we thank you for your authenticity, your caring, and making Delaware strong. We have a proclamation that's been prepared by the governor and I'm not going to read it word for word, but I do want to highlight a couple items. And before I do, I want to say something that's really important to all of us, the faculty, the students in this room. Innovation in America is the key to the future. And that can be STEAM, that can be our STEM. We have to be continuous competitiveness. And like Delaware Tech, who's looking to the future of the workforce, it's paramount. I am so glad that we have a Don Baker, and I know Representative Cook and others in the General Assembly, when we put money, just like our congressional delegates, our senators, our congresswoman, we know it makes a difference. For every dollar we invest in STEM, we have funding sources that tell us we turn around anywhere from $15 to $20. In turn, we've got a crisis in America, folks. We are leaving behind Black and brown communities. This is Black History Month. We have to continue to invest in all communities for true equity. Don Baker, with fame and all the many organizations that you've been part of, are elevators to social determinants to address housing, poverty, food security, all those things that will lead to equity. Folks, STEM. I have this chance to lead the National Association of Million Women Mentors. I do this with the governor of Iowa. It is embarrassing when I look at the difference in Black and brown communities that are part of the STEM community. But I'm hopeful like our Congresswoman and others who are going to speak, because of Don Baker. We are moving the needle in the right direction. The data show that 1% of women who are Black minority communities are in the field of IT, and only 9%, and so Lisa, to your family, you're unique, 9% are any of the STEM fields. So we got work to do. But I know with you at the helm and all the others who've shown up today and our incredible Dr. Brainerd who's committed, we're going to make that better. So I'm going to ask a favor of you real quick, if you don't mind. I'm going to ask our Congresswoman and you to come over here because we're going to hand you these right now, our tributes, and you can do it again later, Congresswoman. The governor is out of town, so I have to be kind of mobile today. So I'm going to hand this to Don right now, and we're just going to say on behalf of Governor Carney and myself and all the others who are represented, Representative Cook, come join us, that we are so proud of you and congratulate you for over your 20 years. And it goes on to list the many numerous organizations that you've been part of. And we want you to know that presented this day in February by the order of John C. Carney, Governor Bethany Hall Long, Lieutenant Governor, we want to recognize you, sir. So here you go. And we'll move over this way. Okay.
Thank you, Lieutenant Governor Hall Long. Our next presentation will come from Newcastle County Executive Matthew Meyer, who is unable to join us today, but was kind to extend a pre-recorded message.
What is the greatest challenge in creating a more equitable society in 2023? A lot of Black History Month is about looking back, understanding Black history and all of our history here in our community, and asking questions about how we can use and understand that history to make a better present and a better future. When I look at Newcastle County today, when I look at Delaware and America today, I see a community that's deeply divided into producers of technology and consumers of technology. An increasingly small group of people know how to program these phones, know how to program these computers, know how to program other devices, and consumers like me and you, always on our cell phone, are paying those producers. That's why it's so fantastic that now in the 25th year of Deltech offering a Black History Month awardee to a member of our community, Don Baker is the perfect choice. His work in FAME, the Forum to Advance Minorities in Education, does so much to advance equality and equity in who the producers in the economy of tomorrow will be. It's absolutely essential, and it does not get enough attention. Don, for years and years, has not only had passion for addressing this inequality, but has done something about it, leading scores, hundreds of young people, steering them towards educations in science and engineering and careers in science and engineering in Deltech and beyond. He is the perfect awardee, a community leader who is so committed to an issue at the very heart of the equity and equality struggle of the 21st century and beyond. Hats off to Deltech, Dr. Mark Brainerd, the whole team for 25 years, finding that leader, that one leader each year to recognize in our community. Hats off to Don Baker and FAME, who has for years created this incredible institution and is now expanding it into things like the arts, STEAM, not STEM, to create a better vision and a more equitable vision for the community in which we all live. It's great. Don Baker is making history in this Black History Month.
Next, we'll receive remarks from Greg Morris, representing the City of Wilmington Mayor's Office.
Good afternoon. On behalf of the Mayor's Office, I would just like to say a special congratulations and thank you to Don Baker for what he does. For me personally, on behalf of Black men and visionaries around the country, thank you for what you do. I am proud of you. Just want to say that. I'll just read a portion of this. Even before taking the helm of fame, Don built a reputation for tackling the root causes of social issues, including hunger, poverty, social and racial injustice, and education. He has served in multiple volunteer roles, including the Newcastle County Diversity Commission, AFP International Board Member, Delaware Foundation for Math and Science Education Board, and a litany of others. Among his numerous honors is being recognized as Technologist of the Year by the Council of Urban Professionals, the first Delawarean to ever be honored by CUP. Presented on this day, 21st of February 2023, by the order of the mayor, His Honor Mike Brzezicki. Congratulations, sir. Thank you for what you do. Now that I've seen you with your family, I see where your wealth is. See you.
Thank you, Mr. Morris. We have also received letters of recognition from Senator Thomas Carper, whose letter expresses your positive influence consistently meets the needs and enhances the quality of life for many Delawareans. Senator Christopher Coons also extended a congratulatory letter stating that you have created an environment where students can reach their full potential and have impacted not only their lives, but the workforce at large. Thank you, everyone, for your heartfelt letters, tributes, proclamations, and resolutions. At this time, I would like to invite Ms. Ruth Baker to introduce her son, Donald.
Thank you, Deltech. You know, when I came to Delaware, I did take some courses here. So, yeah, and I passed them. so thank you. You see this? Then Donald's about to have a nervous breakdown because he thinks I'm going to be long-winded. But no. I'm his mother. I'm a mother, I'm a grandmother, I'm a great-grandmother. And before tech came out to be a thing, old folk, this is what we did. We made little notes, right? We didn't have, I happened to have one, but we did not have the cell phone. So we made a little note, and I thought, I'm invited, but it's hard to invite a mother because I'm gonna tell you, I can cry. That's how I feel. I'm so touched by what I know to be right for Donald. He's a great guy. He's worked hard. I've been in this field of nonprofit for years, and I've never been able to do what he's done. And he's done it with love, and he's done it with passion, and he's done it with caring. And I'm touched by you recognized it. You recognized it. And I appreciate it. So, no, I got the folder, I pulled the folder out. But no, I'm not going to be into the folder that much, just a little bit. Because what do you expect of a mother? You know, what do you expect of a mother?
Y'all should put her on the time clock.
No. He knows I love him. Yes. And he knows me quite well, and I know him quite well, of course.
3 minutes.
But, thank you, Dawn. Is it too loud? Okay. But I can't help but say that Donald's been a fighter. He wanted to go to Morehouse. Things were tough for us at that time. Mom and Dad were struggling. But Donald said, I gotta find a way. And he helped us, and we helped him. And he went to Morehouse. Graduated from Morehouse with a political science degree, as you know. And of course, as you know, because you've written it up, He, he also received a master's from Wilmington College in political and public administration. And again, these are steps along his path to become the leader he has become. Step by step, as a mom, I'm watching. His dad is not here, but step by step, we saw him take the necessary steps to become the leader that he has become. He went to help with the food bank. Okay, so you work for a food bank, that's fine. But what did he do? He created a training course. That never got publicized because he doesn't ask for the things that he does to be publicized. I think that's the other reason why I feel so touched by this. He doesn't ask for that, he just does it. He just does these things. He doesn't ask. He's shy, and you would never know that. He's quiet, he likes, to some extent he's shy, but he is aggressive at the same time. He does fight, but he comes from a family of fighters. We fight. We fight for rights. We fight for justice. We fight for women. This is the family that he has come from. His dad fought. He had a business on 5th and Market Street. We had a business on 5th and Market Street. Donald was training because at home there were things that he had to do when he was young to help with that business. So early on, he knew about struggle, but he also knew almost subconsciously about business and business dealings. You see how this growth is coming into play? You see how unconsciously this is what happens. This is what happens with children. This is what happens when we hang in and we struggle and we do for our children. So he has on and on and on. When he graduated from Wilmington College, what did he do? Well, he got a house. He went and bought a house. He put the money together. And by the way, when he went to Wilmington College, he paid for it because I'm being honest. Being honest. Yeah, I'm wrapping it up. But I'm being honest. But he did. He paid for his house and he paid for his college because the cost for Morehouse was quite extensive. Okay, so what do I think about Donald? I think he's led by the Spirit. He is led. He's a leader with purpose. He's analytical. He's compassionate and passionate about what he does. He's vociferous because he speaks up and speaks out about what he believes in and about what he learned at home. Me most particularly, big into history, into ancient history, into the histories that are not talked about. And he was exposed to this. And so what did he do? He incorporated it into the fame theme. He is just a wonderful individual. He energizes us, family around him, and he energizes the people that he meets along the way. So I'm going to wrap it up because Donald gets like, oh, okay, Mom. And I am a mom, and we have that kind of relationship. We're straight up, and we talk to each other. But you can tell where I'm coming from. You can tell that I love him. You can tell that he's in my mind, in our mind. He's a fighter, and he deserves this. He deserves this. And I thank you. I thank you so much from my heart, from the family's heart, that you recognize. And you've given him this honor. So thank you. Thank you, Donald. Thank you for always, thank you for always calling. Yes, I get personal. Thanks for calling me. He's got a sister who has MS. It's me and his sister. He calls every day, every possible way. He calls to say, Mom, how are you doing? That's important. I love him. That's okay. I love him. I love him. I'm coming. I love him.
I don't know if it's Barry White or who, but there's a song, My First, My Last, My Everything. This is my first, my last, my everything. But this will be the last time. The last time. No, you know I love you. You know, now things have just taken a turn. Whole situation is just taking a turn. Sorry, Dr. Brainerd. So you know, I want to make sure first and foremost, I take a moment to say thank you. So thank you first to the Almighty. First. I get it from my mother, so it's going to happen. It's going to happen. So thank you to the Almighty for putting us here, allowing us all to understand. I'm looking in the back, in the middle, that you all matter. Every day you wake up, you matter. You have skills. Someone loves you, even sometimes when you don't love yourself. Someone loves you. Now, my family knows where this is coming from. I lost a very close friend and buried him on Sunday because he didn't feel like the world needed him. And he leaves behind his children and his family. And when you said, as men, black men, I have a very strong group of men who we support each other. And we're supporting his family. I see Myron over there. They paid tribute to him at his ceremony. So part of my message, my close, was going to be love yourself and know that you are loved. But Mom changed that. So now it's part of the front. So to Dr. Brainerd and to this wonderful team, because I know you know as a leader, it's not just about you. It's about this team and this culture that you've helped to establish. I say thank you, and I say keep going. Keep going, because this matters. It matters that you take the time to recognize the contributions of everyone. So women, men, Latinos, Native Americans, whoever it is, recognize everyone. Now I'm gonna throw a wrench, and forgive me for doing this, but it's her fault. It's her fault, but it's the truth. And I wanna say this, because our world is in a place, our nation is in a place where we have some decisions to make. And I hope that we are getting pictures of this beautiful, beautiful crowd that's here. So I say this with love and not disrespect. It is my hope and my dream that we recognize that Don Baker, other Don Bakers, did the work, continue to do the work, not just in February, but we do it in January. We do it in March. We do July. We do November. My point is this: selflessly, others who've built this nation, women who've built this nation, deserve to continue to be recognized in their month and outside of their month. And the month is important because it highlights it, so I get that part. But Black history in particular is world history. And there are so many other histories that are world history. Quick story, broke my heart. But as my mother said, she doesn't mean I'm a fighter, but I know how to box. But I'm a fighter. So quick story, and this broke my heart. I was the president of the Association of Fundraising Professionals. I was hosting an awards banquet very much like this, and it may have been 2002 or so, here in Delaware, place that I play golf, Deerfield Country Club. So I'm hosting this event, and someone gets up to speak on behalf of the honoree, and the comment, since we are in Black History Month, this is relevant. The comment was, she loved this person, so happy that they were getting this award, and they were the kind of person that would gladly take the ugly black crayon and allow their friends to have all the other colors. I'm hosting this event, and I'm saying this now that I know my mother, this is how I am. So when there are people in the room like cringe or turned off, there's a reason why I say this, because there are people in this room who are allies, but who are also dark complected. And when you hear ugly black crayon being the outcast, you relate to that. So this is a very prominent person, and I'm not gonna say their name. The award was given, and at the end, while I'm sitting at a table with sponsors and people that I know and you know very well, I said to the person, what did you mean by ugly black crayon? And this is before woke, or whatever, I don't even know what the hell that is, but before all of that, right? I wanted her to reconcile with what she said, because there was value to holding a mirror in front of this person. I'll move on. Point is that when we continue to highlight the different folks in the room, the work that President Brainerd does and his team does becomes so much easier because everyone feels valued. My foundation, all right? I wrote this little speech that I was supposed to read on this, but I'm 48 now, so as I'm getting closer to 50, my eyes are like, dude, you should have brought the big laptop. So I've been a professional consultant, and as a professional consultant, one of the things you learn very early on is that when you are speaking or you are giving a presentation, you let the individuals in the room know what you're going to coach them on. So I'll do that now. There are three pieces or components that I wanted to focus on as a part of my speech. The first being my foundation. She stole some of that, of course. The second being the work. And the final piece being a message. So the foundation. I grew up with fantastic parents. Fantastic. Education was at the core. Love was at the core. Being a good human was at the core. Knowing how to hustle positively was at the core. So my mother and father, this award actually is about them. It's not about me. It's about the things that they did. Valuing education, which we are all responsible for doing. Deltech is doing a superb job of blending education with practical experiences. That's what FAME does as well. So the foundation that we build these celebrations on and this work and these accomplishments on is critical. It is critical. Being able to reflect back and know that get up early, look a certain way. And I'll say this to the young men and women in this room. I know things have changed, and it's be your whole self and all those things. Your genuine self, that's the thing. Like, I get it. But as an employer, and as someone who wants the best for you, and not just you, your mom, your grandma, your kids in the future, care about how you look. It can be fly, but care about how you look and how you smell and how you present. Those 3 little girls over there, and I don't know if my son's gonna make it, he's actually in class, standing. They know what to expect. Any professors in here? Hands? All right, so as professors, you set the stage in your classroom. Here's what we're doing, and here's what I expect. Young people, set a standard for yourselves so that people know what to expect when they see you. I will say this, for years, and I look at Randy and some of my other colleagues, I've moved away from this. This is probably the first time in a long time outside of Sunday. Because now I know my work speaks for me. But as you're climbing, have a brand. It's part of your foundation. You want that job, you want that thing, you want those homes, you want value, you want to feel valued, you have to have a brand. So quickly, mom, dad, and my sisters set the foundation. Now I want to talk about my sisters just really quickly. 2 older sisters, one's here, one's not here anymore. So in 1976, this job actually is funny that I had this job, this career, this passion. I walked into my office the first week I took this job. And I knew my mother was on the Fame board. I knew both of my sisters. My oldest sister actually was the first name on the list when Fame started recruiting in 1976. Mother would say that, and I was like, oh, okay, that's great. Second sister was also on that list, but as a 7th grader maybe. I walk into my office. I found the list. Dr. Moloch, who was my predecessor, had historical documents. Donna Baker at the top of the list. It was amazing. The Almighty speaks to you. I hope you listen. So foundation, loving family, aunt and uncle are here, regimen, all those things are critical because you're training yourself how to be the best self you can have. So I'm not talking to this front row, I'm talking to those 3 little girls over there and all of these young people here. Have a brand. It matters, and it will serve you. So let's talk quickly about the work. This is also for the young people because we know this. Some of us are at the beginning of the work, some of us in the middle, some of us are towards the end of our work. The 80s, and I grew up, and I have no shame. I'm a Michael Jackson, Elton John, Prince. I love so many different musicians and Steely Dan. Like, I just think of all these things that have shaped me, right? Billy Joel, I can't forget Billy. Like, all these things have shaped me. And in the 80s, the only boy, the youngest, I was their baby, right? I was responsible for getting on my hands and knees and cleaning the bathrooms in the house every weekend. Hands and knees. So you talk about Fame and the scientific method or engineering process of design. I learned very quickly, you don't start cleaning a room by cleaning the floor. You go from top down. because if the top's wet and you've already cleaned the floor, what's going to happen? Your floor is going to be done, and you got to redo it. Like, I learned that the hard way. So the work starts at that age or earlier. Say it again. The work starts early. Knowing how to work. There are so many people who don't know how to work. Not just looking for a skills trade or looking for, some kind of employment opportunity. Is it in me? Do I know how to work? So knowing how to work, teaching how to work. If you're parents, young people, it's important to teach how to work. It's very important. I was taught how to work. My mother talks about entrepreneurship, and kids, like, give me 5 minutes, 2 minutes, like, hook me up. So my mother mentioned entrepreneurship. My father was an entrepreneur. He didn't just own one store in Market Street Mall. My father owned 3 stores. He was the first black man in this city to own 3 stores on Market Street Mall. And when they moved here, and this is a little something about the Delaware way, they moved here from Philadelphia. I'm the only one who was born here of my siblings. Some of the comments were not kind. It was, oh, you got to watch that Philly cat because Philly people are slick. My dad hustled. So my father, and Lisa probably knows this, at one point was called the Sticky Apple King, the Candy Apple King. My father owned trucks before it was really cool to own vending trucks. And Saturday mornings, Friday nights, guess who was wrapping candy apples? Me and my siblings, and my friends if they spent the night. So knowing how to do things, having a skill, having a hustle, I say this in the wake of losing my brother to my other brothers, and I'll say it to you. It is important to know how to strip yourself to nakedness. That means this suit gone, I'm good. My homes that I own, gone, I'm good. Vehicles, gone, I'm good. Jewelry, buy, I'm still good. You live in a world of boxes, pressure, image, self-worth being attacked every minute. Be good with you. Value you. Don't have that friend value you because you've got a nice car. I don't know if y'all call them whips anymore, but because you got that, right? Don't have someone value you because your home has a pool. I've got a 12, 11, and a 10-year-old in this room, and they are under fire every single minute they're on these devices. So my message to my little girls, I see you smirking, is be okay with who you are because you are the perfect you. Perfect. With all of our imperfections, before you have braces, Devin, before I had braces, I knew who I was and the great things that I would do because it was written. You are all great. So appreciate that. But it starts with the work. I'll speed through. So in terms of the work hard. Work long hours. Know what it means to stay up overnight to complete a project. I've done that for years. Food bank is probably where I started cutting my teeth in the 90s. I would write proposals and I would stay up all night, reading federal literature all night. So I look at my team and they'll tell you, I know the work. Don't take that shortcut. Know the work, do the work, live the work. Because when you've lived the work, you've seen it. And anyone who works with you or for you understands that you know. So we can't play that game. We're not taking shortcuts. I've done that work for a very long time, and I'm blessed to be able to do it. It's not over. But now, as a person who's responsible for making sure other people have opportunities, I get to pass some of that work to other people, but they better have it right. I get to take days off. I've earned it. In this day and age that we live in, post-pandemic, health, mental health, wellness, stability, balance is critical. Doesn't displace the work. Final thing, message. So for me, I'm a lover of people. I love you. I'll tell you I love you. You don't have to earn it, but I love you to start. We start peeling back layers and experiences. Okay, well maybe you gotta stay over here or you gotta stay over here. But I lead with love. You can't do this work. Both of you know this. Everyone here knows this. You can't do this kind of work of opportunity, of sacrificing. I went to Morehouse. All of my friend group, and I'm proud to say this, are entrepreneurs. They are owners. They are, successful in the vein that they wanted to achieve the goals that they wanted to achieve. I could have left this work and did other work. I've actually done other work while doing this work. But it takes a special kind of person to put that young man back there with the hood and the beanie on before himself. I'm talking to you, brother. Like, it's critical to have love in your heart in a world where there's so much other stuff. So, lead with love, be intelligent, be compassionate, be wise. There's a difference between intelligence and wisdom. Wisdom is learned through experiences. Value your time. I watched this lady, this beautiful lady in this front row who just, spoke before I did. I watched her almost kill herself trying to work solving everybody else's problems for free. I like to get paid for my work. My mother has done stuff for free forever, and she shows up every time, on time, doing things that people don't understand, fighting Comcast, winning to keep a cable company and a station here for everyone to have local access. Like, these are big fights. Mom, why are you up? I don't know if you know this, and I'm gonna say this. My mother is 83, right? At this point, you don't care, like, who cares? So listen, be protective of your time. And this is something she told me. She said, you will have friends and you will have frenemies. You will be invited to meetings as a distraction. You will be asked to do things and to join because you're doing good over here. Protect your time. Protect your brand. Protect your family. None of that said be perfect. Although grammar, dress, all of these things, this lady would hound me so much about those things. And that was part of the foundation. So as I close, and I close with a loving heart and a lot of gratitude, the other thing that I have to mention is that you can't do it alone. So my team, who is in the room, is part of my backbone, my rock. We employ close to 100 educators, mostly who are all certified in the state of Delaware and around Delaware. My team is certainly part of this journey. My teams in the past, part of this journey, they help allow the vision that I see become a reality and manifest. So partnerships, gratitude, collaboration, all of those things are critical. And I'm hoping I can put Dr. Brainerd under a little pressure here. We've brought something to this state of Delaware called TALLO, T-A-L-L-O. And essentially, it is the supercharged ecosystem that supplies every one of these students, traditional or non-traditional, with the best opportunities for them. We partner with Boeing, we partner with Delmarva Power, Discover Bank, Cummins Diesel, Walmart, all of these other companies. We've got roughly 2 million users on this platform. I brought this to Delaware and scored a significant deal to be able, as a state, to put all of our talent in a position to know and understand that Deltech, University of Delaware, Wilmington U, Upward Bound, all these other institutions, along with our employers, want top talent, but they want the talent that is right for them. So I'm going to leave you with a gift so that you can explore, because states like South Carolina, Iowa, and others are using this tool and reshaping, and might I dare say, they are predicting their workforce because of the talent that is on this platform and where we can steer this talent. And finally, Dr. Brainerd, I am hopeful that as the project that I'm working on, the Learning Lab, which will be located at 2005 Baynard Boulevard, is in some way, shape, or form connected to Delaware Tech, because we've connected with others. And we're focused on academics, workforce development, and innovation. And some of those companies, like the Boeings, like the Delmarva Powers, and others, are trusting us, as they've trusted you, to prepare their next generation of workforce. So collaboration, leading with love and kindness, and ultimately valuing yourself as a gift is critical. So thank you very much. I appreciate the time that I've been allotted. This award means so much, and I am very much grateful to all of you. Thank you so much.